What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Coach G, who believes basketball, and we're back today. I got a great question. When do you use the step for your dribble footwork versus when you split and explode out? All right, I got this question. I think it's from Goofy, followed by some numbers. Goofy 8674, something like that. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate the great question. So for me, because I use both footworks, as you get to higher levels, the more you got in your bag, the better, because you got to be able to switch things up. All right, great defenders know and pick up on movement patterns pretty quickly. So if you're constantly doing the same move, same thing, same footwork, they're just timing everything. They're understanding how they can take you out the game based on the same, you doing the same thing every time, right? So I broke down the main movement pattern as you could do this footwork with any move. So Goofy asked basically to do this footwork with between the legs dribble, right? So you go dribble, step, between. All right, but you could do this dribble, step, cross, dribble, step, behind the back, shoot, dribble, step, spin. You could do it with everything. Now, the split here, cross, it all goes the same way. For me, I like to use the step mainly in like a more, I guess like in a half court. When it's more of an ISO situation in the half court, a defender is really like pressuring you, guarding you, trying to, like I would use that to go at them and close space really fast. So as I'm going down the floor, he always in the corner, yeah? Yeah, I was about to say, Max, you could get right there, right? So for the step, I like to close space and step. And like I always say, when you're doing any type of footwork, there's a quick time for you to like read and react based off what the defender does. So off the dribble step, from here to once my foot gets down, I should have a read. All right, so I'm going here. If he doesn't move, then I'm just going right to the rim, right? Now what I like to do is I'm closing that space quick. So once he does move, now I'm here. I like to just move in close quarters, okay? So very close, because you have to create very small angles to get by your defender. And then in help side, it's pretty tough to, like you have to make sure you're keeping this driving lane really tight to the rim. So then that way you're not really getting all the way pushed out to the help. So you wanna make sure you're staying straight downhill. With the split, all right, so when I get here and I split, that's very quick change of direction, starting to get a little bit more shifty a little bit. I use that mainly like coming down the floor full speed transition. So like I will be dribbling down, let's say, and I see an opening, right? We'll set them up, boom, and then I'm exploding and getting downhill. Same thing with the cross. Like I'm looking, I see something, then I'm just going. So like it's more of like a split second decision where I can see something, I'm seeing where everybody is. So for me in transition, every time I would get the ball, as soon as I turn, I'm taking a snapshot real quick. So if I got two of my teammates running, right, and I got the ball, I know two of my teammates is either behind me or trailing. So then I also got to see how many defenders is ahead of me, how many I got in back of me, right? So I'm seeing and surveying everywhere where I want to be at the same time. Depending on where I am on the floor, I like to stay either elbow extended here, or I would switch lanes, right? Just to create some type of confusion, because in transition, there's no help. So as all of that is happening, I'm just reading the floor and I'm trying to pick where I can go. And I'm also being very cautious of, all right, I got a shooter that's over already running the floor down. I got a slasher. I got a big, I'm paying attention to who I got versus what I also have as well. So like if a lane opens up for me to get to the rim, or if that lane opens up and I can see if I get by this defender, he has to help, and I'm already setting it up for my teammate in my head. Same thing for a shooter. It's like I'm I'm seeing the game before it happens. So when I get into that transition mode, a lot of the times for me to get to where I wanted to go, I would split, and then I would get to changing directions on the drop of a dime. You can use the step and transition as well. Honestly, it's just preference. There's no really right or wrong answer because you can go full speed, stop, change. It's really all about just what your body feels. All right, stopping on a dime, putting all of that on one foot. Make sure you lifting and you making sure you're doing the right movements and stretches just to put everything on that one leg, right? I used to do a lot of mobility work and everything just to strengthen and be ready for these type of movements because you're always constantly changing directions, especially in basketball. Gotta have your core tight, everything. All right, but those are the main two things that I would use, and then and you can always just switch it up in the half court and transition. But that's how I personally used it. The biggest thing is just getting out and playing and filling out what feels good for you. All right. So if you got any other questions, you gotta let your boy know, and I got you all day long. All right. It's Believe Basketball, Coach G. Peace.